Good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us on this episode of Let's Talk Nurture, which will also be published as a video on Nurtureville. And today we're doing a deep dive into the utilities team. I think it's probably fair to say that not many of us through the company actually know of their existence, let alone what they actually do. So this podcast / meeting is all about the lovely people that make up this very specialist team, where they fit in terms of the services that we offer and what a typical day might look like for each of them. So I'm joined by Sophia Hodson, who is Head of Operations. I have Matthew George, who is Contract Manager for Central Region, Rob Potter, who is the Regional Manager for the South, Megan Bly, who is the Commercial Manager, and John Shufflebotham, who is Regional Manager for the North. So welcome all of you, and thank you very much for your time this morning. So I'd like you to introduce yourselves. I think it's important that we hear your voices. And if you could tell us in a sentence what it is that you do, and most importantly, whether you like chips with ketchup or mayonnaise. That is the crucial thing. So Sophia, let's start with you.
Hello everybody. I'm Sophia Hodson, Head of Operations for the Utility Vertical, which sits under the Gristwood and Toms part of the business. I have responsibility in delivering a quality and safe, commercially sound grounds maintenance service to the utility infrastructure-based clients. So think oil, gas, telecoms, water and electricity. And a bit out there, but I prefer brown sauce with my chips.
Sorry, that's not allowed. That's banned, Sophia. It's brown sauce. That's going rogue. That is
especially going rogue. If it's been a rough night the night before.
I like it. Rejuvenate, a little bit of replenishing.
Yeah.
It must be
chips,
like
chopped chips as well.
Bit of heat in there as well. Like it. John, what about you?
So I'm John Shufflebotham. I'm Regional Manager Utilities North. So I've got 6 depot locations in my area, stretching from the Midlands to Scotland. We deliver utility grounds maintenance contracts and environmental services across those areas. I hold a basis amenity certificate, and I'm responsible for all the herbicide applications across the utility vertical.
And the all-important question, John: mayonnaise or ketchup?
Of course, ketchup, of course.
Obviously, I'm with you. I'm on team ketchup, just by the way. Rob, tell us about you.
Yeah, so I'm Regional Manager South, so I cover from sort of Midlands down, and then across into Wales and Northern Ireland, sort of more of a focus on the ARB side of the utilities world. But yeah, we've got a number of depots down there, and I suppose all important. I'm a mayonnaise if you're going to push me on the chip front. But I'm really just a salt man myself, to be honest.
Well, as long as you're not starting mixing them together, because that's basically a crime. Brand of mayonnaise, because that is quite important as well.
Oh, yeah, Heinz, definitely.
Heinz? What about Hellmann's? Tell you, a bunch of wrong uns on this call. Megan, how about you? You're on. Oh, there you go. She's unmuted.
I am, yeah. So hi, I'm Meg Bly. I am Commercial Business Development Manager for the utilities team. I get to hunt out all the new business opportunities and complete all the bids and the tenders in the utility and infrastructure sectors. I also support with the compliance accreditation ICALES UVDB, which is really a critical requirement for our sector. And the all important question, which everybody wants to know: I am 100% a Mayo girl. Oh. And it has to be Heinz, seriously light.
Oh,
and I like it so much that I even took a bottle on holiday with me.
What?
to my all-inclusive hotel.
That is commitment to the cause. We're Absolutely. Finding all sorts of things about you guys right now. Thank you very much, Megan. Matt, you're not last but not least. What about you?
Yes, I'm Regional Manager for the East Region for Utilities, so covering really Lincolnshire, Cambs, Norfolk, Suffolk, down to sort of down, including London. So running out of main hub in Downham Market in Norfolk. For myself, chips, I'm just a salt and black pepper, to be honest. I'm not even a sauce. Yeah.
Black pepper in. Bit plain though. Well, I suppose the pepper does add it up a bit, but I need the sauce. I need the wetness with the dry,
No one's the vinegar.
Yeah, actually, yeah, no. Well, brown sauce is close to vinegar, I think.
Yeah.
So we've got a sort of rough overview just from those awesome descriptions that you've given us about what you do individually. But Sophia, tell me, like in a nutshell, for somebody who's a complete noob, what is the purpose of the utilities team? What do you do?
Yeah, so we maintain and manage grounds for utility and infrastructure clients to ensure a compliant environment that's safe for specialist equipment, and most of all, engineer access to get access to that equipment, because some of the sites, they field 999 calls, for example, in the telecoms industry that we work in. But when we go there, the services that we can provide quite a range. So we do minor civils, so temporary fence repair when we're on site to make sure a high-risk site is secure, graffiti removal, pest control, asset checks and lock changes. Key benefits are that it offers a cost-effective solution for many of our customers, as a lot of the sites are remote, offering a single site visit efficiency where one multi-skilled technician completes all required tasks on that visit. This positions Nurture as an infrastructure partner, not just a grounds maintenance provider, and it provides reputation and contract opportunities within the sector going forward.
So if you had a Banksy piece of graffiti, would you remove that?
Depends on what our client wanted to know.
That is, you're good, Sophia, you're good. So wow, so that really is quite a big range of things. So you work quite closely with pest control, I assume?
Yeah, we do a little bit. So the pest control generally that we're looking after is very industrial, so bait boxes, really. When we're going to these sites, the frequency of visits isn't very high, so we're going to do the grounds maintenance to make sure it's not for aesthetic reasons we're going there. It's very much go and make it a safe environment, cut down, because it's a practical solution for our clients. And there's little cabinets there where all the electrical boxes are, and we just make sure that there's no little rodents having to chew through those cables.
I think probably a good idea. So in terms of verticals and obviously working with pests, that leads me nicely onto my next question. John, which vertical do utilities work most closely with, and can you see opportunities to expand that and work with others in the business?
Yeah, so just at the moment, we're just coming into the gritting season. So we've got some gritting contracts that we deliver. So we were supported by the Nurture gritting team on those contracts. I've also had some dealings with the GIS team, doing some mapping for me, and the Innovation and Environmental team helping us out with biodiversity on one of our national grid contracts. And I know that Gristwood and Toms are now expanding into Scotland, and we do tree works in Scotland. So I think that'll be a good pair up for us in Scotland to deliver tree works.
Well, and beautiful place to visit as well. And who is your favourite, John? Who's your favourite?
My favourite. My favourite.
Is he going to be diplomatic?
I haven't got any favourites.
Oh, you like them all the same.
Absolutely.
So that is a very diplomatic answer. So Rob, tell me about what impact that utilities has on the wider business. What would you put there?
Oh, I think definitely it's a new workflow, and you Nurture. What I know historically, that just is very traditional grounds maintenance on industrial and other sites, but ours is quite unique. It's high risk sites that we gain access to, so it's that compliance throughout. And I think now we've probably joined the Nurture group. When we were Hortec, it was very controlled to start, but I think we've got a real opportunity for growth with the bigger thing, and bringing Matt on board as well into that utilities thing. Some of the water contracts that we're now delivering is just growing time on time, and we've only been with you guys for less than 12 months now, and I think it's already showing that we're winning new contracts. So I think that's the most the impact that we're going to have, is that just new workflow, something else to explore.
What contracts? What's the best contract or the biggest contract that you've won so far, or the most impactful, would you say?
I'd say new since joining Nurture. I think it's got to be the Cadent Gas contract. So we now maintain more. We always were a Cadent contractor, but now we do more areas. Matt's taking care of the east. I'm now moving into the London patch. They're new contracts. Existing clients, but bit bigger reach.
Well done. Yeah, great stuff. That's nice to see that growth. Megan, tell me about the utilities daily, or the biggest challenges that you face.
That's a really good question. Our challenges are quite unique, I think, to the rest of the business. And I think that's really because it's not just about maintenance. For us, it's more about necessity rather than making green spaces attractive. For our clients, it's really about the functional requirement of vegetation management. So when it comes to challenges, I think safety is absolutely up there. Working near live infrastructure, whether that's electrical substations, gas pipelines, water treatment facilities, telecoms or other high risk infrastructure sites. Each environment carries its own risk and our teams have to be highly trained and our approach to each different site has to be tailored. And that can be anything from the equipment we can use on each site. For example, we can't just use battery powered equipment everywhere. It isn't an option on certain sites. There's other things as well. The PPE we have to wear on certain sites is very specific. So we have to have flame retardant overalls, coveralls, and we have to carry specific equipment like RF and gas monitors to even be anywhere near the sites, the compounds. And also our safety figures can really affect our ability to even get a foot in the door with clients in this sector. So that safety as a whole is a massive challenge. We've also got compliance, our Achilles UVDB, and that plays a vital role to ensure that we can meet rigorous standards in safety, compliance, sustainability. It reduces the risk for utility clients by being part of that system, and keeping that accreditation up to date is essential to our success and longevity. Access is another major challenge. Many of the sites we're working on, I know Sophia touched on it, they are remote, they're difficult to reach, they're secure compounds, getting the right equipment to site, and even just the permissions and permitry to get into the compounds can be time consuming. And that requires a lot of close coordination with the clients. And we've got some amazing people in the team who work tirelessly to make that happen. And then we have environmental and social challenges as well. So the usual wildlife and seasonal restrictions, but it's not uncommon on these sites, these utility assets, for them to be used by the homeless or drug users. Right. And our teams have to be able to deal with those situations safely, respectfully and compliantly. And then I think finally, I'd say regulation is another big challenge. Utility industry is really heavily regulated, and that means that precision and compliance are required at every single stage. The opportunities don't come through as frequently as in other sectors because of the strict regulation and the level of detail required. So when opportunities do come up, they are highly technical, they're complex and they're time consuming, and the reward for success is significant. And the contracts that we win often span many, many years, and that then allows us to build strong long-term relationships with loyalty and trust with the clients.
Well, after that list, I'm not surprised, because what a list. I mean, geez, that's really impressive stuff. And I think definitely from a client's perspective, if you're fulfilling and ticking all of those boxes, why would you want to look anywhere else? And you obviously have to tick those boxes because it's such a stringent, strict area. I hadn't really appreciated that. So with the accreditation that your team have to have, is that in-house trained with the academy, or that has to be a specialist training? Surely they go outside of Nurture for that.
It's not necessarily training. The accreditation it's very similar to ISO, very similar. It's very much in line with ISO standards, but it's very specific about what training people need to have to be able to, and we have to evidence absolutely everything. We have to prove we can do what we say. It straddles across lots of different pillars: finance, HR, training, everywhere. It's very, very complex.
Sophia, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to add in, so the accreditation for the individuals going to site, that is, we have to go to specialist providers for that accreditation as well. So we have specific gas training, specific electricity training, blue cards, a lot of different levels for our different clients, really.
And is it quite hard to recruit new people to do the work? Because that's very niche work.
I think it's sometimes difficult to maintain staff on certain sites. So John looks after an oil refinery, and that's quite an interesting and niche type of site. It's very specialist, very industrial, and the work there, you know, the standards very high with the rules. You know, you're not allowed to take your mobile phone onto site if, you know.
What, no scrolling Facebook while at work?
No,
I can't believe it.
Things like that. And, you know, you have to be off site. And, you know, we're not allowed electric cars on site because of safety reasons.
Yeah, of course. That makes complete sense. Oh, wow. It's a whole minefield out there. So, Matt, tell me about, you know, Utilities' relationship with kind of Nurture as a company. Obviously, we're growing all the time. We have this huge workforce and it's very complex and lots of different things going on. How can the wider business support Utilities or help you integrate into the company more? What could you know, average Joe or management or ELT do for you guys?
So I think we've been here quite a while. I think we've knocked this meeting and conversation back a bit, you know, so we've probably integrated a lot further forward than we originally would have done when we were going to have this. I think really from the integration and support, I think the biggest thing is just, which this is going to do, making the wider business aware of what specialisms we can do. You know, we hold a lot of contracts as Nurture Group across the country that have specialist tasks and items within tenders, within current works that we may currently look at, subcontracting out to specialist subcontractors that we can deliver as an in-house team. And I think the biggest thing there is just making the wider business aware of what we can deliver, where we cover, because as you can tell, we pretty much cover UK wide. Yeah. You know, and how they can direct that into ourselves instead of potentially directing it outside of the business.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Do you know, the more I learn about this business, the more you realise how many opportunities we're dropping through not cross-selling and people not understanding and realising, you know, what else is on offer. You know, we all get, I suppose, fixated with what we're doing. But yeah, it's look around and see the opportunities, because there are many. So back to you, Megan. Tell me what your initial thoughts are about Nurture Group's company culture. Is there anything that stands out to you?
Yeah, I would say there is. I think from my experience so far, I feel that across the group, the culture is mostly collaborative and purpose-driven. I think there's a clear emphasis on professionalism and delivering value, especially in the utility and ARB space.
Of course.
Yeah. And since coming on board, you know, sort of 12 months ago, I don't think, for me personally, there's been a single department that I haven't engaged with at some point. And what's really stood out to me is how genuinely willing people have been to share the knowledge and support each other across those teams. And I think that level of collaboration is fantastic. And it's something I'm really happy to be part of. Yeah. I feel like there's a positive, inclusive environment amongst my peers where I'm able to contribute and grow. And that's really what stood out for me.
Well, this is music to my ears as head of engagement. You know, I want you to be engaged, Megan. I want you to feel it and you know, feel like you're a citizen of Nurture, as we all are, and one great big happy family. Not all the time, but like families, we have our moments, but ultimately the same goal. So, John, tell me about you. You know, what's the most surprising thing that you've learned about Nurture Group since joining us?
I think the most surprising thing for me, after working in a relatively small company for many years, is the sheer scale of Nurture and the amount of services that Nurture Group offer. Yeah, so that's been the most surprising thing for me.
I think such rapid growth, it's hard to keep up sometimes.
Absolutely, yes.
And Matt, you talked a little bit about, you know, the reach and wanting to kind of expand out on contracts and things. How do you envisage your team being able to evolve or grow over the next 6 to 12 months?
I think really the main thing is it's just going to be where the alignment is between the verticals. You know, obviously with the, you know, Tivoli is one of the larger, most recent acquisitions, and obviously, you know, there's works and contract spaces on there that align quite well with our utility and our vertical, and as well across the business. And I think it's just about bringing the workspace into the vertical that it's best suited, potentially, you know, collaborating and aligning it together with that and ensuring that we can deliver the best service to the client. You know, it's not about, for me, I think a lot of the growth there will be organic growth, but I think the biggest part of growth for us is just going to be realignment within the business to where the work's best suit, you know, for the benefit of the client and for the benefit of us as a group as well.
And just opening up conversations, I suppose, with your clients, sort of noticing things around the site, saying, oh, did you know we also offer this, this and this? And now everybody's got a bit more of an awareness about what utilities do. Hopefully this will be in mind when they consider what opportunities there are on their own sites as well. So wrapping this up, back around to you, Sophia, what is your ideal outcome for your team's contribution to the company in the long term, would you say?
It's just continuing to strive in becoming the leading utility and infrastructure partner to our clients, really. You know, I think this being achieved, you know, we've got a great team behind us, but it's all about, you know, how we deliver it by providing that operational excellence within the industry and well-being to our staff as well. Consistent high standards, and then the commercial growth to build that long-term partnership with our customers, because as Megan touched on, once you're in with those clients, you've got a relationship, and we can work and build on that relationship with all the different cross-selling opportunities. And you know, I don't think we can end this call without mentioning Adrian Stirl as well. He's on Matt's team over in the East. He specialises in, you know, the environmental side of things. So he's got his certificates in badger mitigation, and is it otters as well, and bats. That's another service that we can offer, and we've been working closely as well with G&T on the bat surveys for the trees to all collaborate together. And it's, you know, it's our team's commitment to ensure a trusted, efficient and a sustainable delivery for each and every client to meet their needs.
And I have no doubt that you're going to deliver all of that in the future and over these coming years as we work all together. So thank you so much, guys. I think that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to find out about you for the time being. But if anybody is listening in and have more questions, I'm hoping it's okay for them to reach out to you all directly, and feel free to start up conversations about possibilities and working relationships and all the rest of that stuff. And I wish you all a lovely day, and thanks everybody for listening in.
Thanks, Mel.
Thank you. Thank you.